Hello and welcome to our very first live broadcast of a MotoGP race. It is the season's 8th race, the Dutch TT in Assen, broadcasted live by Go Racing TV. I'm Frank Piper, and alongside me in the booth is a former winner of this race, Anthony West, who won this very race in the 250cc class in 2003 and in its successor class, the Moto2, in 2014.
Greetings everybody.
Anthony, how does it feel to be back here? I know we are not live at the track, but at our studio in Nilsville, Missouri, but it is still awesome to see the MotoGP back in Assen.
It's just amazing. This track is like the best thing in the world.
Anthony West wins the Dutch TT here at Assen.
It's been a long time ago, and a lot of hard years in between from my last win to now.
I can see you love nothing more than looking back to those two victories.
Actually, I do love something more. And that is racing myself.
Oh yeah, you are still competing yourself. From what I heard, you are competing in both the Australian Superbike and the Asia Road Racing Championship.
Correct, Frank. Therefore it is a good thing that it is winter in Australia and way too tropical hot in southern Asia. Otherwise I wouldn't be here.
And afterwards it will be the MotoGP that will enter summer break for 6 weeks. The next race after the Dutch TT will be the Styrian Grand Prix on August 8th. Anthony, will you be among us there too?
I hate to disappoint you, but likely not. Because one weekend earlier, there will be the Asia Road Racing Round in China, and then the ASBK Championship continues.
But nevertheless, now I would say it is time to focus on the race itself since it are only a couple minutes until the start. In general, the Anglo-Saxon riders have been doing great in the qualifying. In Moto3, Petronas sprinter rider John McPhee scored his 6th Moto3 pole position. The Scot is joined by our team prodigy Pedro Acosta as well as his own teammate Adam Binder, the younger brother of Brad Binder. In MotoGP, Jack Miller, the 2016 winner, scored his first pole of the season and is only second after Austin 2018. His debut on the grid makes Garrett Gerloff from Woodlands, Texas. He replaces an injured Franco Morbidelli at Petronas Yamaha. And against all odds, he made it to Q2 and there he managed to score an astonishing 10th. Anthony, your thoughts on Garrett's shocking debut?
I'd say he merely qualified the same way he usually does in World Superbike. He already substituted for Valentino Rossi in free practice, therefore he knows the M1.
What can we expect from him in the race?
Definitely at least 6 to 8 points, at least if he does not race the same way he does in World Superbike.
And in Moto2, the pole even goes to an American rider. And no, it is not Joe Roberts, he starts down in the 7th. The pole man has been really a major upset. Fabio Di Giannantonio seemed to have it in the bag, but then, Cameron Beaubier topped it out of nowhere by a thousandth of a second. I'd say this is amazing. The man who dominated the AMA Superbike champion finally made his bet in Moto2.
Yeah, it indeed is, but nowadays, in the tough rain it is difficult to pick as a favourite. And of course we have Remy Gardner, who will try to score his 4th win in a row.
Yes, with Jack and Remy we have two Aussies that compete for the title in the two higher classes. Last weekend we even had one Aussie in each class. Because at this Assen rain, Joel Kelso filled in for Daniel Holgado, who himself is filling in for an injured Maximilian Kofler at CIP. However, since there is no Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup this very week, Holgado will replace Kofler again here at the Dutch TT.
I think we will agree that Remy is on a great way become the second son of a former world champion to become world champion himself after Kenny Roberts Jr.
However, as usual, we'll begin with the Moto3 race. Let us look at the championship stands of all three classes, shall we? Pedro Acosta is leading the Moto3 by a huge margin of 54 points. We need to remember that he is a rookie and yet riding like he had lots of experience. Also, KTM and their daughters Gas and Husqvarna are filling the top 5 with their riders. The best Honda rider is Dennis Foggia of Leopard Racing. In Moto2 classes standings also look very clear, and yet again it is a Red Bull KTM AO rider dominating. Even though he does not ride a KTM himself, Sanlos looked like the main title contender coming into the season, but after 2 wins in the opening rounds in Qatar, several crashes would follow. And finally, in the Premier class, Yamaha factory rider Fabio Quartararo is leading with 131 points. He has a bit of breathing room, then 3 Ducatis following the standings. Former Moto2 champions Johan Zarco and Pecco Bagnaia have never won in the Premier class yet, while Jack Miller's Dutch TT victory 2016 had been his lone victory for years. Now luckily he managed to score 2 wins in a row. One in Jerez, after Quartararo's bad luck, and another one in Le Mans, in a flag-to-flag race, despite of a long lap penalty. I would say it's time for racing action in the Moto3 category since the grid is filled now. There will probably be rain all over all 3 races. The air temperatures are 64 degrees Fahrenheit while the track temperatures are 70 degrees Fahrenheit. This track's beautiful at every weather. It's perfect when it is raining like in St. Peter's fashion. Here we have Acosta being concentrated to exceed his left even further. Daring Bind most certainly is motivated a lot despite of a couple bad races. He already won his first race last year in Catalonia, and now Assen seems to be a fitting place for victory number 2.
From the last years we have learned one thing, and that is that Moto3 is unpredictable. However, here in rain it is more likely for a rider to pull away. See Garcia in France.
John McPhee, the poleman, also most certainly is one of the men who have high hopes for this race. He was called one of the title favorites going into the season. However, in the first 8 races he crashed out in 5 of them. Right now he is sitting in 16th in the standings. Time for the grid. Row 2 consists of Messier, Rodrigo and Antonelli, Ingnaghi, Garcia and Minio, Yamanaka, Focha and Wakova, and Chu, Salac and Suzuki. There are still only 27 riders on the grid, since MotoGP it is to occupy the seat of Jason Dupasquier, who lost his life in a tragic incident in Jello, and that gets us to another topic. Anthony, is there anything the FIM could do to prevent further accidents like that from happening?
Well, to be fair, the riders know what they are doing, I know it too. All people who ever climbed the Mount Everest also have known what they were doing. The really tragic deaths are those that happen all out of nowhere, such as Waldy. A heart attack at the age of 51. I remember how I raced against him at the '99 Argentinian GP.
Yeah, I'm with you. The less expected, the more tragic. But now it's time to focus back on the formation lap. Thanks to the rain, all riders are on one and the same tires. I wonder if this might be an opportunity for Pedro Acosta to pull away the same way Raul Fernandez did in Valencia and Portimao the previous season. Yes, he won 4 of his first 8 crashes, only crashed once at the French GP and even finished 8th that time, but all his victories had been extremely close.
Well, what matters is that he simply scores the points he needs, regardless whether or not there is a gap.
That's correct too. Oh, and another replacement driver is Elia Bartolina who fills in for Carlos Tellier of Interspansorama Racing. Now the drivers are about to get back to their grid positions for the 9th race of the season. And the race is about to start. Let's go.
Binder is leading, while McPhee lost a couple positions.
Best start from Darren Binder, then Gabriel Rodrigo and Jaime Messier. A terrifying start however from John McPhee, he has dropped down to 7th. The field goes through a Sprokel.
The top 4 already try to pull away.
Oh my. Garcia. He's out.
That is anything but great for Sergio Garcia's championship chances. The gas pilot had already been 55 points behind Acosta. I suppose we will be seeing a lot more crashes today. With the kind of weather on the track it is not easy to stay seated.
Binder, Rodrigo, Messier, Acosta, Yamanaka, that is the current top 5. McPhee has taken 6th from Dennis Foggia and Andrea Minio.
A battle for 5th between Yamanaka and McPhee.
While in front Binder is still leading clear ahead of Rodrigo and the 2 Red Bull OKTMs. John McPhee is in 5th now.
If we look at John's current pace, it looks like a 5-way battle for the win.
McPhee right now has nothing to lose, he is in desperate need of some top results. At the age of 26, it is the oldest driver in the field and he's running out of time. In general, the Petronas crew is way below the expectations this year. Both Franco Morbidelli and Xavier Virge have scored a 3rd place each in the upper classes, but that's it.
And McPhee passes Acosta.
Now he is going after Jaime Messier,
also known as Macaulay Culkin. And he's through.
Now we have a pure Honda top 3. The last time we had one was in the San Marino GP 2019. Mistake from McPhee. He now has to go through the green. He better be careful or he'll receive a warning.
Major is back in third.
Rodrigo tries to pass Binder,
but Darren brakes later and maintains the lead for now. As we can see, the two leaders have already pulled away a little from the rest of the field. This is only possible on a wet track, where the riders cannot go full throttle.
and McPhee is going back to third. The top 5 have already stretched a great gap between themselves and the rest of the field.
And McPhee's on Gabriel Rodrigo's tail.
It is a bit of surprise it did not have many crashes in this race until now.
There will still be some coming during the final lap, trust me.
And McPhee passes Rodrigo.
And Binder too.
The lead has swapped, but can the Scot hold the line?
Nope, Binder responds perfectly.
But McPhee tries again instead and will. They're side by side, on their way to B-build. McPhee goes for another attack against his teammate. And he's through.
But now he received a track limit warning. He better be careful from now on.
Which gets us to another topic. Anthony, do you have any opinion on the current track limit laws?
If I'm honest, they are ridiculous. See the Moto2 race in
And
Mugello
Binder put himself back in the lead,
only to be passed by McPhee once again.
What a race between the two Petronas Hondas. Now,
Especially from McPhee, if we see how much his bike is wobbling.
and now he nearly went off track again.
And again, this time in Ramshoek.
But he keeps the lead nevertheless. A thrilling last lap is about to start. Rodrigo and Acosta are going for an attack. And Massa now takes over the lead.
Now the relaxation is starting.
And Rodrigo takes the lead from Massa. Look at that. What a move from John Fast.
The top 5 just cannot decide. All I know is that everyone wants to be first going into the final sector.
Into Strubben they go.
If they continue to race this way, the other riders still may have a chance to catch up.
Right now, McPhee perfectly holds his line, while they are going 4 wide behind him.
And now they are 5 wide.
In front are McPhee and Rodrigo, then Binder and the 2 KTMs.
What do you want more? Even though it's nothing new in Moto3.
Now there's contact between Rodrigo and McPhee. And contact again between the two, and they touch the rest of the top 3 too. Look at it.
Now it no longer are a group of 5, but a group of many.
Who will have the greatest advantage through the build?
McPhee still maintains the lead.
With Rodrigo directly on his tail.
The group goes down to Xavier Artigas in 12th.
McPhee and Rodrigo are still side by side. A pack of 12 riders racing through the Kersluit.
That will definitely cause some trouble during the last couple turns.
And now they're all going for first. Can you believe what you're seeing?
I can, otherwise, I wouldn't be seeing it.
They are 5 wide in Ramshoek. 2 turns left.
You mean right.
And Acosta crashes. The championship leader is out.
Yamanaka and Kato Toba have gone down too. Who'll win it now?
Binder or McPhee. Side by side to the finish line.
McPhee.
John McPhee wins the Dutch TT. Now that was the type of racing we all hoped for, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Now, we have to take a look at the crash in the last corner caused by Pedro Acosta, who was involved in there again.
Well, Yamanaka and Filip Salac were, but both have gotten back on their bikes and made it into the points anyways. And all crashed riders have gotten up again.
Well, that is a relief. But what about Acosta? From what I see, he has not managed to get back up in time. With other words, this is the first DNF for the youngster.
Well, every series has to end at some time.
Time to take a look at the final results. A triple victory for Honda, McPhee ahead of Binder and Rodrigo, then Massa as the best KTM ahead of Minio, Artigas, Yuki Tsunoda, Izan Guevara, Filip Salac and Niccolo Antonelli. The points are completed by Risa Monaca, Dennis Foggia, Romano Fnati, Daniel Holgato and Andy Fardisditer. Now it's time for interviews with the top three. Our pit reporter Lancel Berkaren is live on the track to interview the riders on the podium. Let's start with Gabriel Rodrigo.
Thank you, Frank and Anthony. Gabriel, your third Moto3 podium as well as your second one with Grisney. Your thoughts on this race?
It's just amazing. We were able to compete for the victory over the whole race, but nevertheless I am satisfied with this third place. I feel sorry that Jeremy's race was ruined.
Wise words from Gabriel Rodrigo. Now to our man on second place, Darren Binder.
Darren, a great second place from you after a long battle with your teammate. Are you satisfied or did you want to win?
Why though? Of course I wanted to win, but it still is good enough. Me and John had a great battle, but in the end he was quicker. I'm just crashed. I've managed to stay on the bike.
And now time for the winner.
John, what a fantastic victory after such a mediocre season so far. Many congrats.
Thank you, ladies. After all that has happened over the last couple months, it's a massive relief. I don't know what to say. I just want to thank my team and everyone who supported me.
I don't think anyone could argue with John.
Time for the national anthem. Despite not having scored any points in this very race, Pedro Acosta's points lead remains at 55 points, as his main title contender Sergio Garcia has not scored anything either. And now time for the Moto2. The front row this time consists of a true surprise. Cameron Bogby ran pole position, alongside him were Gian Antonio and Bezzecchi. The Moto2 field may not be as close as the Moto3 one, but the machines are a lot faster. However, to win, you should be riding the Kelks. Right now, just like in Moto3, the Red Bull KTM Moto team is dominating the class. However, after KTM retired from Moto2 at the end of the 19th season, they're riding Kelks too. And the man who is dominating in this class is Remy Gardner, who already confirmed to move up to MotoGP through the Tech 3 team in 22. Anthony, do you have any particular thoughts on Remy Gardner? Does it look like anyone could stop him?
Well, he's got a gap of 36 points to his teammate, so I'd say he's got everything in his hands. This race here is a great chance to get even closer to his dreams.
This time however we won't be finding him in the front row. This time he's only fourth on the grid. Nevertheless, it still is a great position for the race.
Absolutely. I would count Bezzecchi and Gian Antonio among his main contenders for the race victory.
What about Cameron? What are his chances? From what we have seen, he has always been good in the rain in the AMA Sprint bike.
It is hard to guess for me, but I definitely can say that under those conditions he is a top candidate for the podium, which he should be if you start from pole.
Here's the grid. San Lorenzo and Celestino Vietti round out the first two rows. In Moto3 we have Roberts, Bensnieder and Rolf Fernandez, then Schroeder, Augusto Fernandez, Dixon, Kemp, Agura and Manzi who returns after an injury. Alonso Lopez is once again filling in for a still injured Gary Montelli. Let's go. Gardner has taken the lead ahead of Lowe's. And behind there, a battle for third between Fabio Di Giannantonio and Bo Bensnieder.
Like in Moto3, the pole setter hasn't caught the best start.
And 4 riders have gone down already. It are both Petronas riders, Samkia Kentra and one of the Flexbix Pons riders.
And 3 more are down. I think it are Marcos Ramirez, Tom Luffy and Nicolo Bulliger.
Goodness me, what is art. Out in front, Remy is leading ahead of Lowe's. Oh, and it seems like Rolf Fernandez is down too. This will be a big plus for Remy in the title fight.
Right now you have a darn good reason to feel sorry for Raul. It looked like a rookie could win the Moto2, and now his second crash in a row after it looked like he'd never crash.
Behind the 2 leaders, we have Di Giannantonio in third, Bobir in fourth and Vietti in fifth. Now Lowe's already tries to go for a pass, but he isn't close enough. Bobir comes out of nowhere. Him and Lowe's touch and go off the track.
Lowe's has dropped back to fourth.
Cameron Bobir seems to want everything today, and he sees no reason to let Remy Gardner just win his 4th race in a row. Into Rustenhout the field goes. And Cameron has run off the track. That may give him a warning from the stewards.
However, like I said, this system is crap. See Joe Roberts in Mugello, when he lost 3rd place despite not having any.
Remy and Cameron touch. Cameron Bobir takes over the race lead.
Cameron runs off the track again. He better be watching out.
Now we have a thrilling first lap behind us. Gardner gets pushes to the outside, Bobir and Di Giannantonio pass him.
The 2 new leaders touch.
And Di Giannantonio goes down.
Meanwhile Gardner retakes the lead.
Followed by Bobir, Lowe's, Vietti, Bensnieder, Augusto Fernandez and Roberts. The field is surprisingly close together for Moto2 standards, almost like in Moto3.
The magic of rain. It brings together what is separated, and separates
a touch between Gardner and Bobir. Lowe's becomes the new race leader. Can Sam Lowe's pull away? We all know that he is often sovereign when it's raining. A typical Englishman. Cameron Bobir runs off the track, but he still manages to defend second. Into the slam the field goes. Bobir goes for an attack against Sam Lowe's, but he can't hold the line. Both Lowe's and Gardner pass him.
Can this battle get any more intense?
Lowe's and Bobir go off the track.
Remy Gardner once again is back in first.
Now that his teammate crashed out once again, he wants to step a massive step closer to the title.
He's currently reaching for the stars, living his dream. Who would have thought of it just 2 years ago?
Why have you never gotten to the constant level?
Well, I just didn't get the offers, and neither had my dad been active in professional motorcycle road racing.
Bobir makes an attempt on Gardner. They touch. Cameron pushes Remy to the side. Can CB6 hold the line? A close call through the bocht. The 2 leaders touch again. But Cameron Bobir lets it field into the final lap. The field is caught up to Gardner, while Bobir tries to pull away. A mistake from Bobir. The field caught up to him again. He loses a couple spots, Gardner back in the lead, but now both Bensnieder's on the inside. And another massive crash. Both Mark VDS riders are out, along with Joe Roberts.
Didn't I say it? And now
the Eddie's gone down. And with him he takes out another pack of riders. Involved are Dalla Porta, Agura and, I believe, Arenas.
Meanwhile Bo Bensnieder has established himself as the new race leader, even trying to pull away. Then Bobir, followed by Gardner, Baldassery and Scrotter.
and Bobby has closed up to Bensneider again. Gardner lost 2 positions to Schroeder and Baldassari. Behind we have Kempt, Beltis and Navarro, and Bobby tries to take the lead from the Dutch SAG rider and bows down. I don't think the local fans will like Cameron for this.
That's racing.
And now Bobby missed the line once again. Now it's Marcel Schroeder taking over the lead. Gardner and Baldassari battle wheel to wheel for second. Can this be a podium for MB Agosta?
And once again Bobby missed the track limits. I sincerely hope this will not result in further trouble. I mean, he didn't have any advantage from it.
The final corner may become crucial. See the incident between Hayden and Edwards in 06.
Marcel Schrotter also is a surprise. Has been consistent this year, but never strong in qualifying. Can he finally win a race in his 152nd Moto2 start?
He certainly is doing a great job. Gardner and the rest have problems keeping up with him. Gardner loses 2 spots to Bobby and Baldassari. Marcel Schroeder enters the final turn. Can the contenders do anything through the slipstream?
Baldassari goes down while Bobby tries a final attack, but he's too far away. Schroeder has done it. A well-deserved maiden victory for the German.
Then Bobby and Gardner. Outside from the podium, the top 10 is completed by Aaron Kempt, Jorge Navarro, Ciarin, Bensneider despite his crash, Baltis, Fernandez and Virke. The other riders in the points are Lorenzo Baldassari, Agura, Samkia Kentra, reigning Moto3 champion Alberto Surra and Fabio Di Gianantonio. Among the riders who missed the points are also both Yard 46 riders, Zecchi and Vietti. What a disaster for Valentino Rossi's crew. And again it's time for interviews with the top 3. Lenz, we can't wait to hear your interview with Remy Gardner.
I certainly am excited. Remy, this time you only finished 3rd, but you seem to be joyful nevertheless. Now that Raoul crashed once again, you have extended your lead even more.
Yes, I could have won, but after Raoul was out, I didn't want to risk everything, and the pack was really racing close. It was a new situation even for me. But after Raoul already crashed out early in the race, I just wanted to try the very best, and I think I got what I wanted with another podium.
Well. This just shows that Remy really is a Gardner. He has everything a true champion needs. Now time for the 2nd spot, our American hero Cameron Bobby, who has a perfect reason to keep California dreaming.
Cameron, what a fantastic maiden podium in Grand Prix racing for you. Tell me, how does it feel?
It's just awesome. After yesterday's qualifying I already knew that this was possible, but today's race was very difficult. I had a bad start, lost a couple positions, but then I managed to make up ground and was able to battle for the win with Remy. However, at the end it was Marcel who got the better of me. I gotta congratulate him too.
And now it's time to interview our new race winner, Marcel Schroeder.
I can't describe how amazed I am to finally see a German driver win again. Marcel, this is your first victory after so many years. It must be a great relief for you, huh?
You nailed it, Lance. Early in the race, it looked nothing like it, but when riders kept crashing, I also kept up making ground to the leaders. And when Cameron made a mistake on the final lap, I managed to catch him. He tried for an attack, but I just kept my cool and brought it to the line. A huge thanks to the people around me, regardless of whether it is my family or my crew members.
That's what I call a well-deserved winner. Don't you agree, Anthony?
I absolutely do. He has been like I was for many years, caught up in mediocre teams. And now he defeated this very track, which just shows the magic of Assen.
Guess it's time for the winner's national anthem. The new World Championship standings are following. Remy Gardner continues to lead with 180 points. Raul Fernandez is in second with 128 points. Then in third Marco Bezzecchi with 117 points. In fourth Sam Lowe's with 86. In fifth Marcel Schroeder with 84. In sixth Fabio Di Gianantonio with 73. And in seventh Aaron Kent with 68 points. In eighth Joe Roberts with 50. In ninth Xavier Virkley with 48. In 10th Bo Bensneider with 47. In 11th Cameron Bogby with 46. In 12th Jorge Navarro with 44. And in 13th Aguirre with 43. Augusto Fernandez is 14th with 41 points. The winner's teammate, Tony Arbolino, has failed to finish today and now is 15th with 30 points. And now it's time for Medic Action. Anthony, do you have a particular favorite?
Well, if I have to choose, then Jack Miller.
Because he won this race 5 years ago or for a different reason we can only guess.
You got me.
Well, the fact that he starts from the pole position for the first time since Austin 2018 gives you a good right to think that way, and alongside him we have the two Frenchmen, Johan Zarco and Fabio Quartararo.
Fabio's just always a guarantee for the front row. I think third is the minimum for his standards.
Some people have already called him the new Marquez, and during Marc Marquez's upsetting Assen victory, he finished third.
Well, he's yet to be as consistent as Marc. Otherwise he would have finished better than 8th in 2020.
And here we have Brad Binder, who scored his best grid position in 4th. He is in a great position for his second podium after his victory in BRNO 2020.
We have many candidates for the victory today, you cannot pick merely a single one.
As for the rest of the grid, Pecco Bagnaia and Alex Rins complete the top 6. In 03 there are Alex Espargaro, Joan Mir and Maverick Vinales, the 2019 winner. Then Gerloff, Nakagami, Paul Espargaro, Martin, Oliveira and Marc Marquez. The field drives back to the grid after the formation lap. Now the lights are on, 22 riders are ready for a thrilling battle. Start. And once again the pole setter has a mediocre start. Quartararo and Zarco pass him.
But Alex Rins takes over the lead.
Binder touches him.
Both go off the track.
And Rins goes down. Quartararo has taken the lead, ahead of Zarco and defending champion Joan Mir. Then Vinales, Bagnaia, Miller, Alex Espargaro, and another bike pile up. Involved are Nakagami, Paul Espargaro, Bastianini and Rossi. Oh no! Valentino Rossi has crashed out from his likely-to-be final performance here.
Is it that much of a surprise after all we have seen today? I don't think so.
And now Marc Marquez is down.
Looks like after his Sachsenring victory, he had to face reality once again.
He wasn't competing for the title anyways this year. On the front, the top 7 have already pulled away a little.
Great to see for Espargaro that he's able to keep up with his Aprilia. And even better, next year Aprilia will return as a factory team while Gresini unites with Ducati.
Now Fabio tries to pull away. Vinales goes for an attack against Mir in deep build. The Yamaha rider is through.
Joan Mir has gone off the track.
He passes the Suzuki rider for 4th.
What a race.
Our World Championship leader keeps defending the race lead, but the path behind him is far from giving up.
Look at that. Binder goes for a blind attack.
He doesn't lack of courage, eh?
He's just a MotoGP rider.
Both Zarco and Miller have gone down in the group Timmerbocht. And Binder's in second behind Quartararo. What a first lap. Will Brad go for? He hits Quartararo. Oh my. Binder. Quartararo gets pushed off the track and he goes down.
The first DNF for the Frenchman.
He tries to get back on his bike, but I'm afraid his efforts are in vain.
Vinales is the new race leader.
And Alex Espargaro goes down too. Another missed opportunity for Aprilia.
Vinales, Bagnaia and Miller are attempting to pull away.
Then 3 KTMs. Binder, Oliveira and Petrucci. And Joan Mir's in 7th despite of the lap 1 incident. Can Bagnaia go for an attack against Vinales? He desperately wants his maiden victory, but the Ducati loses against the Yamaha in the corners.
Miller's in 3rd. waiting for the right time, just like he did 5 years ago. Binder goes for a pass against Miller. He's through.
Vinales and Bonaglia battle wheel to wheel. Once again they go through the build.
The top four are clear in front.
Through Mount Evan they go. Next up is Dickersluit. I think Binder's closing up to the 2 leaders.
You were not wrong, Frank. Miller, however, is starting to close the gap as well.
4 riders competing for the victory. Binder has taken over the lead.
Banaya overtakes both Vinales and Binder.
Man, what a race. Where are Binder and Bonaglia? They've gone down. Goodness gracious.
Binder has it. He's taken over the race lead.
What a race at the start of the last lap. Marquez out, Quartararo out, Bonaglia out.
Miller takes second from Vinales.
Mistake from Binder. Miller passes him again. And so does Mr. Top Gun Maverick Vinales. He even takes the lead, but now Binder takes it back.
Petrucci, Oliveira and Mir have closed up too.
And Vinales has run wide. He's dropped down to 6th. Petrucci and Binder are battling wheel to wheel for 2nd. And look at that. Garrett Gerloff's in 7th at his debut. With a non-factory machine. Millerfield goes through Ruston Hoke. He has pulled a big gap between himself and Petrucci.
Through Miller's on fire.
No. Petrucci's gone down. Such a shame after such a great race.
Oliveira is in 2nd now.
Everything's playing into Jack's hands. Also a great chance for the championship standings. He entered the weekend 31 points behind Quartararo, but now it would only be 6. And Gerloff's battling for the podium. Can you believe it? Also Johan Zarco in 7th. Another major upset after his early crash with Mir. Miller can relax in the lead now.
He has done everything right today. Even after a bad start, he has quickly managed to make up places, and now he just needs to bring it home. His 3rd victory of 21.
Binder's through Oliveira.
Miller, however, doesn't have to both. Binder's way too far away to catch up.
Oh my gosh. Binder's on Miller's tail now. They touch. Binder still wants to win. Both gone effort, but Binder's through and wins a Dutch TT. Now.
Amazing. I've never seen a finish like that.
Me neither, Anthony. Miguel Oliveira rounds out the podium, while Maverick Vinales finishes in 4th, Joan Mir in 5th, and that is absolutely amazing. Garrett Gerloff in 6th, Zarco is 7th, Rins 8th, Paul Espargaro 9th, Savadori 10th, Alex Marquez 11th, Martin 12th, Bastianini 13th, Marini 14th and Nakagami 15th.
That also will shake up the championship standings a lot.
Congrats also go out to our brake Texan hero Garrett Gerloff. Who would have expected such a debut from him as a replacement rider?
This shows that even from the superbike paddock someone can make a name for himself in the MotoGP. But now it's time to focus back on the top 3.
And here they are. KTM are already celebrating their 5th victory within 21 races. They are getting better and better, it seems.
And Ducati have overcome a track they have struggled with for so many years.
Let us also keep in mind that next year Rennie Gardner will move up to the Tech 3 KTM crew.
Right now everything is falling into KTM's hands.
Before we get to the interviews, let me inform you that on October 3rd, the MotoGP paddock will return to Austin. Aren't that great news?
It most certainly are, Frank. Now excuse me, I'm standing next to Miguel Oliveira. Miguel, despite not even making it into Q2 on Saturday, you profited from the many crashes today, remained seated despite it all and drove to a greatly deserved 3rd place. This means you have reached your 4th podium in a row. How does it feel?
I didn't have much hope for the race after yesterday's disappointing qualifying, which makes me rejoice over this podium even more. I didn't even know until after the race that Fabio hasn't scored anything. Now I want to go all in. Such a pity we have a summer break ahead of us. I mean, I'm on fire.
I can see you are.
Wise words, and now this shows that he still isn't of the question for the title, as he reduced the gap to 41 points. I also would like to hear from our second place, Jack Miller.
Jack, you have perfectly shown why you deserve to be called a title contender. In the end, however, you were passed by Brad on the last meters. How were all the battles?
The start wasn't too great, but then I started making up some positions. When the last lap began, I'd finally managed to pass Maverick. I already thought I had it in the bag, but well, then Brad came out of nowhere. But hey, he has driven decently, therefore he deserves that victory.
Looks like Jack can also rejoice when other people beat him. I am very proud of how he has developed.
And time for a chat with today's race winner.
Brad, many congrats. You have given everything today. You fought until the last corner after it looked like you were too far away, and you scored your second MotoGP victory.
I'm not sure if I will find the words how to describe how I feel or how I won this race. I just gave more than 100%. But I definitely can say that this was the best race of my life. Also, this is the first even weekend where both me and Darren are on the podium. I don't think we'll ever forget this.
Now it's time to get to the podium, isn't it?
It is. 3 men born in 95, all with championship ambitions.
National anthem time. Another precious trophy in the hands of Mike Leiter.
And trophies for those 3 young men too.
And now it's time for the champagne. And that was it for today's racing action. Before we say goodbye, let's take a look at the current MotoGP rider standings. Fabio Quartararo, despite his crash, still leads with 131 points. His main contender now is Jack Miller, who has 120 points in second. Third is Johan Zarco, 118 points. Fourth Francesco Bagnaia, 99 points. Fifth Joan Mir, 96 points. Sixth Miguel Oliveira, 90 points. Seventh, Maverick Vinales, 88 points. Eighth Brad Binder, 81 points. Ninth Aleix Espargaro, 53 points. 10th Paul Espargaro, 42 points. 11th Marc Marquez, 41 points. 12th Franco Morbidelli, 40 points. 13th Alex Rins, 36 points. 14th Takaki Nakagami, 35 points. 15th Alex Marquez, 30 points. 16th Enea Bastianini, 29 points. 17th Jorge Martin, 27 points. 18th Danilo Petrucci, 23 points. 19th Valentino Rossi, 17 points. 20th Luca Marini, 16 points. 21st Ikerl Korna, 13 points. 22nd Stefan Bradl, 11 points. 24th Garrett Gerloff, 10 points. 24th Lorenzo Savadori, 10 points. 25th Nicolai Piro, 3 points. 26th Tito Rabbit, 1 point. Ducati also retakes the manufacturer's champion leading. Anthony, it has been a pleasure cooperating with you. Hopefully we'll get the chance to work together again.
I hope so too, Frank.
Goodbye and see you again, ladies and gents.
And keep racing.